Hello everybody, ecwecwecw1 here, and I just finished watching WWE Money in the Bank, and wow! First of all, I just want to say how shocked I am that CM Punk won. I was really surprised by that. But I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm just going to give a quick review of my initial reaction on this pay-per-view, so it probably won't be that well written. But anyway, let's get started. So we started off with, the opening thing about CM Punk and John Cena to build up them as the main event, blah blah. Anyway, our first match we get is the SmackDown Money in the Bank match, which was it was a good match. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before from Money in the Bank. I mean, it wasn't as good as SmackDown's Money in the Bank at the last year's Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which also started off, ironically. But let's get started. There were some decent spots. Like you'll get that high-flying spot where everyone does their high-flying move, blah, blah, and attacks, and they all brawl in the beginning of the match. But there's this great spot where Sheamus leads, like, one half of the ladder in the ring, the other half is touching the barricade, and it's floating, and he's on the corner of the ring. He does a power bomb to Sin Cara, and power bombs them through the ladder. The ladder splits, and, the crowd's going, like, holy, and let's see, there was this other spot where Wade Barrett's in the ring, and he and Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel are beating everyone up, even though they're all broken up as a core, and he says, you guys guard the ladder, I'm gonna go for the briefcase, and they pretend to be okay with it. Then as soon as he touches it, they pull him down, beat the shit out of him, then they have their own fight, and then there's this bit where all the people are ganging up on one person. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Sheamus or Kane, whatever, and then Justin Gabriel, and this ladder's on the top turnbuckle, and he keeps bouncing on it, and then does the 450 splash, and that was really cool. But the match ended pretty much with Wade Barrett and Daniel Bryan on the ropes. Wade Barrett goes for Wasteland, he reverses it, I think kicks him in the head, and Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, gets the briefcase, and that surprised the hell out of me. I mean, the way WWE has treated him is pretty much like a minor card wrestler, which I know he isn't. I know how big he is in the independent circuit and stuff, and I know how good of a wrestler he is. I'm just saying my pick for this match would have probably been Wade Barrett, Cody Rhodes, or Sheamus, but I'm really glad they went with Daniel Bryan, and you could see there was some real emotions pouring out of him, and he's back home in Chicago too, so that was really cool, and there was lots of Daniel Bryan chants during the match. Then we get, Vince McMahon arriving with John Laurinaitis and a lawyer, I think. No, they're just walking. Vince McMahon, walk. Yeah. Then we get Kelly versus Brie Bella. I don't remember this match. I honestly went to take a piss because, I've been, we got some beers. I was drinking with some friends and, no, that's it. And I come back and, Kelly won, and from what my friends told me, it was a decent match for women's wrestling nowadays, but, Kelly is not a good wrestler, but then again, neither is Brie. Anyway, then we go with Big Show and Mark Henry. I was surprised this feud even got a build-up package, because I don't think anyone cared about this match. It's just two big, slow wrestlers doing big man stuff, shoulder block, grab, throw this guy, a test of strength, whatever, and blah, 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 showing, we're big monsters, yeah, and whatever. Sorry, I'm not going into much details in most of these matches, am I? Anyway, Mark Henry ended up winning, which surprised me, but, whatever. Maybe this will do something for him. Of course, he's been around for, 13 years, and what have you done, really, besides being ECW champion for, 3 months? In 2008, was it? Yeah, 2008, and you had the feuds with Tommy Dreamer and Matt Hardy, who I think beat him for the belt. Right, anyway, move on to the Raw Money in the Bank, which was the best Money in the Bank match of the night, and my second favorite match of the night, actually. We all start out with everyone grabbing a ladder, and they're all trotting to the ring, and then they all use their ladders on Alberto because he beat them all up with a ladder the other night. There's this spot where Miz is hanging with the briefcase and he lands, and he looks like he really hurt his knee. His knee didn't look too good from what I saw. Maybe it was fake. It didn't look fake to me. let's see. There's this bit, you know, they all do the high flying move. One person out of the ring. Oh, that guy does a high flying move. Then this guy does it. Then that guy. And that guy. And then you're like, you know, you've got the other 6 out of the ring. And then Kofi Kingston and Ray get on the other turnbuckles and jump at the same time and lands on everybody. And like, you know, you got the crowd going, yeah! When that happens, like the generic cheer, even though we all expect it. Then there's this bit where they're all acting like jellyfish, I think. Like, no, hold on, what am I saying? They're all like all on ladders. They're all in the middle of the ring, and they're all reaching for the briefcase, all doing like that. And my little sister was there too, and she kind of pointed out they were like cats reaching for like that string. And then one person, they would knock one person down, then the other, then the other, then the other. Then we're down to one person, which is Kofi, and then I think he falls down because of something. And then Miz comes hobbling back. He's hopping, which is kind of makes the injury seem more real because he wasn't even using it like a limp. He was hopping. And he climbs up, and then Ray knocks him down. Then you got Ray reaching for it, and he's got it. He's unclipped it, but it's not off the hook. And then Alberto tries to get off, and when he keeps smacking him in the head with the briefcase, Alberto grabs Ray's mask and rips it off. And like Ray's covering his face, and he pushes him onto the other ladder, and then unfortunately that ladder goes back and hits Alberto, which I don't think was meant to happen because his ladder ended up falling over. And the reason I don't think it was meant to happen because Alberto picked up a ladder, and then he climbed up, and then he pretty much got the briefcase with no one interfering. And Alberto won, which is really great because I absolutely am a huge fan of Alberto Del Rio. I have been a big fan since his debut when he beat Rey Mysterio in his first match. I was happy when he won the Royal Rumble. I think he should have won at Mania. I think it was bullshit Edge won. And I didn't like the fact that Christian beat him for the belt at Extreme Rules. Like, he's not new, okay? Like, I know he deserves to be champion, but his time has passed. That's like saying the British Bulldog should have still got the belt during the Attitude Era in the year 2000. No, his time had passed. He'd been around since the 80s. And, like, you've been around since, like, you know, the beginning of the Attitude Era, 13 years ago. Like, I like Christian, but come on. It only lasted 5 days anyway. But yeah, Alberto won. And speaking of Christian, we move on to Randy Orton versus Christian. And this was a good match. Probably my 3rd favorite match. I think I liked it a bit more than the SmackDown Money in the Bank. Christian starts off, and he does this really well. He goes and gets a chair, pushes it in the ring, and says, "Go on, hit me." And like, "Oh, I want to." Like, see Randy Orton with his crazy eyes. Like, and like, you know, because if Randy Orton gets disqualified, he wins the belt. And, you know, it's back and forth. It's great wrestling. He hits the kill switch or the unpretty or whatever the hell you want to call it. And he kicks out. Then he hits some kind of powerbomb. He kicks out. Then, you know, and then it gets to the point around the end where Christian knows he can't win, so he's backing off. And then he spits in Randy Orton's face. Randy Orton goes ballistic, starts beating the shit out of him. Too much, to the point where, you know, they disqualify him. And because he was disqualified, Christian is the world champion now. So, yay, to all the Christian fans, I guess. Your hero finally got the belt. Whatever. And then, you know, he beats the shit out of Christian after that. He goes, beats him, and RKO's him on the Spanish announce table, and it was nice to see the Spanish guys back. And then, you know, he's starting to leave, but then the crowd are going nuts, so he goes, "One more," and then he, like, goes, and then he does it pretty much the whole process over again, and RKO's him, and then he leaves. And now we're on to the main event, John Cena versus CM Punk, and I know he was in his hometown, but I was really blown away by the amazing reaction CM Punk got. Like, they went ballistic, like, ah! It was so loud, I had to turn down the TV because it was so loud. And, like, you know, the amount of boos John Cena got, I mean, I don't actually hate John Cena myself. I understand why he's on top, but, you know, of course I wish there was someone new, like I say with the other guys. But, you know, they were booing the shit out of him, and this was great back and forth wrestling. This would probably be my 4th favorite John Cena match. My first is his one with JBL, I Quit. Second, his one with Umaga at the Royal Rumble, who expected that, the Last Man Standing match, and his Last Man Standing match with Edge at Backlash. That was a brilliant match too. This would be my 4th favorite John Cena match, and it went on for like half an hour, it felt like. Holy shit. You know, there's some great back and forth mat wrestling. John Cena actually did some decent mat wrestling in this, and of course, you know, they have these great spots, and, like, you know, John Cena goes for the FU, CM Punk lands on his ass, and somehow that means he didn't get hurt at all. And, and then like he tries to use the GTS, and then John Cena reverses it to the STF, and then like he gets the ropes. Then John Cena hit 2 attitude adjustments, if you whatever the hell, and he pins him twice, and like he kicks out. Then CM Punk does the GTS once. John Cena falls out the ring. He brings him back into the ring, and then he hits it again, and John Cena kicks out. So he kicked out the 2 GTSs. Then like they have this fight outside the ring. He goes back in. John Laurinaitis and Vince McMahon come out, like, and like he's staring them down. Then as soon as CM Punk is in the ring, John Cena hits the STF, and like he goes, ring the bell, and like John Laurinaitis goes to tell the timekeeper. John Cena gets out of the ring, punches him in the face, and he had him in the STF. So I think the story is, Cena would have won if it wasn't for John Cena distracting him with that whole Laurinaitis crap, and he wanted to be all moral or whatever. And like he says, I want to win this my way. He gets in, CM Punk hits the GTS, and 1, 2, 3, and the building exploded. Holy shit! And I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I had absolutely no feeling whatsoever that CM Punk was going to win. Then Vince McMahon goes to the announce table, steals Jerry Lawler's headset, and says, "Stop the music! Get out Alberto Del Rio right now! Get out Alberto Del Rio! He's got out right here." And then Alberto's running to the ring, and I thought, oh, okay, Alberto's going to get there, going to cash it in, and that's going to be the story, whatever. But no, as soon as he gets to the ring, CM Punk kicks him in the head, and knocks him out, and then runs and exits through the crowd and holding up the belt, and the building is going ballistic, and Alberto didn't technically cash it in, so he still has it. And this, of course, must mean that CM Punk is really with the company. Because, say what you want about John Cena, but he's a big friggin' guy, and if this was a real fight, he would have probably beaten CM Punk. And, yeah, also, but, I was really happy. I think that was the best result we could have got. That's what made this pay-per-view so memorable. It's actually my favorite of the year so far. More than the Royal Rumble or Extreme Rules. It was way better than WrestleMania, that's for sure. God, how awful was that? And, CM Punk actually got a legitimate victory. So you really felt like he won. Unlike, when The Miz won at WrestleMania, when it was complete bullshit how he won. He didn't get put over. No matter what you diehard Miz fans say, he wasn't properly put over. But yeah, that's my initial reaction. If you want a better review, you should probably watch Spinnernet 1 or Mark Pearson or, the Wrestling Roundtable. Those guys, they'll give you a much better review than I ever could. I just wanted, tell you my thoughts on this event. Anyway, this is ECW, ECW, ECW1, and I'm out of here. Peace.